Hello again. This is a follow-up to my recent video about the Aqua Brixel hydraulic system, a water pump system that's Lego compatible. This video that you're watching right now is not sponsored by the manufacturer of this. It was not asked for by the manufacturer of this whatsoever. This is just me talking to you based on viewer questions and viewer suggestions. The first thing that I'm going to do here is something that I should have done in that first video, but neglected to. And that is show you the interior here, show you the actual details of the conversion that I did on this official Lego model to get it to work with the Aqua Brixel hydraulic system. You previously saw the interior of this in my review video of this thing when it was in its completely stock, box stock original form, when the interior was filled up with a bunch of pneumatic hoses that were blue in color, and there was a row of valves, hand worked valves on the back, and then two pumps. There's one pump, the big air pump that you would pump with a single finger. There was a smaller one down inside with a little crank for the optional power functions conversion where you'd put a M-sized motor in there. I gutted all of that stuff out. I'm going to show you what it looks like now. Now, I am not at all a Technic specialist. I'm almost the opposite of a Technic specialist. I know brick-based stuff a little bit when it comes to custom jobs, but when it comes to Technic stuff, I'm just not good at it, I guess is the most simple and honest thing to say. So there are probably better ways to do the things that I've done here, better ways to approach it and whatnot, but this is what I did. So first of all, from the outside, you can see a couple of the infrared receiver units, which have the speed controllers built in. I used two of them because this is using three motors. So two channels off of one channel off the other, leaves one free channel, and potentially with a little bit of additional work and moving stuff around, I could put a third one over here if I eventually wanted to make the entire thing drivable. The sides were raised just slightly so that I could still have most of the stuff enclosed, but this will still open up, and this will open up as well, which lets you see down inside. When it comes to stuff that really does work, the first thing you'll notice is this M motor over here. Now, you are supposed to use L motors or larger for the Aqua Brixel pumps. So this is one Aqua Brixel pump right there. They will work on M motors. I literally ran out of L motors. I only had two left in my collection to do this job. So I hooked this one up, this M motor up, to the pump that is driving the bucket. So the clam bucket, opening it and closing it. It's the thing that requires the least strength by far. And it does its job just fine. It's just not something that you want to use for an extended period of time just because of the amount of work that is required for each of these pumps to do their job. Now, this motor is somewhat loosely attached because this is practically a self-enclosed system or a self-sufficient, self-supporting system just as it is. So it really doesn't need to be secured down. And also, this does allow me to easily pull this out. You see I have the original main two hoses that go straight out to that small hydraulic, or actually originally pneumatic cylinder, are just going directly into the Aqua Brixel pump. That's it. No other adapters or anything. But with this moved out of the way, then you can see down below and the other two Aqua Brixel pumps that are down there. So let me see if I can turn this upside down. Well, there's not really that much you can see. Well, I guess you can see it a little bit better. There we go. That works. That actually does work. The two L motors are just mounted down reasonably low. Looks like I could have gotten them a little bit farther if I worked on it a bit, but reasonably low. And then just direct drive, immediately connected straight to the other two Aqua Brixel pumps, the two water pumps there. Again, using nothing but the original hoses. So I took all the blue hoses out of this, which was the original source pressure lines related to the pneumatic system. I took out everything related to the original pumps. I think everything is gutted out. I don't see anything related to them still left in here. And then just took the original lines that go to the pneumatic rams on this, the stock Lego ones, and then just wired those up right there. And then as far as actual wiring is concerned, these are just the two lines that come through the center of the turntable, similar to the way that you would with the official power functions conversion with the air pump. But I just have these two going through the center and then they go up to the receiver unit. So those ultimately are attached to these, which are just attached with, looks like they came loose. Oh yeah, they did come loose. I thought, oh yeah, okay, I see. I have it. It's easy to pop out thing, but yeah, that's just that. So the 3 motors are connected right here, and anything related to pneumatics has been removed. And one of my motors is an M, which it shouldn't be, but nothing needs to be very well secured because all the work and all of the stability that's needed is just through this white adapter that comes with the system. And that's really just that. Other than that, everything is unmodified. The other thing I wanted to cover in this video was responding to the most common question and or suggestion from viewers on that other video about these Aqua Brixels pumps and how to use them. Folks have asked, why not use mineral oil instead of water? Then you don't ever have to worry about the potential for rust once lubrication goes away on these metal shafts in these Lego pneumatic rams. It was a very good question, a good thought, a good train of thought, but these pumps are specifically designed to be used with water or something with the viscosity of water, and even the thinnest of mineral oils are significantly more viscous, significantly thicker and more difficult to move than water. However, I passed your questions along to the manufacturer and I got a very interesting and completely unexpected to me answer. They said, well, they haven't significantly tried it on oil or other oil-based products, oil-based fluids. They don't recommend it. They didn't design their system for it. However, try this instead. Ethanol-based wiper fluid. I had no idea. I would never have thought of that. But it's a fantastic suggestion. I looked into it, just like what other things do people use ethanol-based wiper fluid for? And the most common unusual use is actually inside of the tires of farm tractors. Farmers fill up their farm tractor tires with wiper fluid, windshield wiper fluid, for cars, to act as ballast. And their wheels are made of steel, They're painted, but they're still made of steel. And they use the things, they're used for work. And they fill them up, and the key is that you don't leave you don't leave air in the system, because where you have air, then you can start to get evaporation, you can start to get condensation and such. You want to get all the air out. So I'm going to do that. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do that. And I think it's a really good idea. It's something that has extremely low corrosiveness, lower than pretty much anything else that you would use, you could commonly get, that is safe to use in this system. It has an extremely low viscosity that is similar to water. I think it's a little bit thicker than water, but not too much. Actually, you know what? I have not actually gotten my hands on the ethanol-based stuff. Just the regular stuff that I put in my car, I feel is a little bit more viscous than water, but it's close enough. But yeah, I'm definitely going to do that conversion myself because I'm interested in keeping this long term and keeping it set up with the hydraulic system. So I will attempt to blow all the water out of this system and fill it up with wiper fluid. The other thing that's really cool about wiper fluid is that generally it comes with some color. And I like that idea, especially if I start to use some clear hoses like the ones that are included with this system. But even if I don't, just the idea of having the colored fluid, especially with at least the completely crystal clear case of the pump, just lets you see it moving around a little bit more easily, makes it a little easier to see if there are any air bubbles in there as well. And, I got this system, I did this conversion, what was it, a few weeks ago now, I want to say, as of the time of the recording of this video. This has been sitting since I did my video on it. Nothing has leaked, not a single drop. There's no suggestion of any moisture anywhere. So the system is well sealed, and I did get air out of it pretty well when I was setting it up the first time. The system is well sealed, so it seems to work pretty well. And that was the suggestion from the manufacturer. I'm going to try it, and hopefully it sounds like it's going to be an excellent way to mitigate the potential long-term risk of rust, so that you don't need to flush out the system every few months or whatever, and you don't need to worry about that level of maintenance. Another thing that I saw at least one viewer suggested was distilled water. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That's also an excellent idea. Distilled water, does not have the dissolved ions in it that are actually responsible for attacking metal or reacting with metal and causing it to start to rust and in some cases catalyzing the rust process. So that will help a lot. You will eventually pick up some ions from the system. It's natural to happen. And another thing that's really good about distilled water is that by not having dissolved minerals in it, you don't have to worry about any small air pockets having evaporation involved, which will then lead to precipitation, which will lead to essentially water spots. And if you get water spots on the inside, water spots are generally made of like calcium carbonate and other fairly hard scratching minerals, which would then scratch off lubrication more quickly in any moving parts, and also potentially scratch any coating and just create significantly increased surface area for rusting to occur. So distilled water is a great starting point. And if you want to go further than that, per the manufacturer's suggestion, ethanol-based wiper fluid. And that's what I'm going to use in my system as I start to look for more ways to use things like this, because it's still, in my opinion, just a really cool system. So that's that. Wanted to show you the interior and pass along some information about alternate fluids to help mitigate the potential long-term issue of any rusting on shafts, especially on older units that may have lost their lubrication or not be sealed up quite as well as the newer units. That's that. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.